Welcome to lesson number 24 of Learn to Play Violin with me, where I play both the student and teacher and we learn how to play together. Make sure your violin is tuned and your bow is rosined, and we'll get started. 15-minute timer is on. When we last left off, we finished page 17 of Essential Elements Violin Book 1. We are turning the page, so please go to page 18. At the very top, it says, "Congratulations, you're now ready to practice like an advanced player by combining left and right hand skills while reading music. When learning a new line of music, follow these steps for success." There are 4 steps there. We are going to follow 3 of them for each of the next 7 pieces that we see on the page. We're going to do steps 1, 2, and 4. Step 1, we're going to tap our toe, and we're going to say or sing the letter names. So we're going to say the letter names together. This is going to be a great practice for reading notes on the treble clef staff. Then we'll do step number 2. We'll play pizzicato and say or sing the letter names. So we'll say the letter names together. Pizzicato, that's what the P-I-Z-Z period is. What that means is we're going to have it in shoulder position, and we are going to pluck the string with our right index finger while we hold the violin on the neck with our left hand. And we're going to skip over step 3 and move to step 4, which is now our step 3, bow and play as written. So we'll tap our toe and say the letter names in rhythm. We will then pizzicato and say the letter names in rhythm, and then we'll bow and play. So let's look at number 54, bowing G. That's a giveaway of what note we will be playing for this one. So bowing G, we see the rhythms here. They're quarter notes and quarter rests. Let's tap our toe, not even hold the violin at all, and we're just going to read this rhythm and say the letter name G, because if you look, they're all on the second line going up, which means they're all G's. 1, 2, ready, and G, 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 G. Good thing there's no repeat sign because I already said that way too many times. It didn't sound like a real word at the end. Let's do number 2. Play pizzicato and say the letter names. Okay, so G is on the D string. It is 3 fingers. So here we go. Let me make sure that have my finger at the right spot. G. All right, let's play it, pizzicato, and say the letter name. 1, 2, ready, and G, 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 rest. G, 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 rest. G, 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 G. All right, now it's time to add the bow. Make sure you're holding the correct bow hold. Remember, your right wrist is nice and loose, right? It's doing a lot of the work here, keeping it fluid. Our left wrist is straight as you can. Our fingers are curved so that we're only touching the D string in the G position, which is 3 fingers. Okay, let's try it. Starting with a down bow, which means we're starting at the frog and moving to the right. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, let's move on to number 55, back and forth. So we're putting the violin down, putting the bow down, and now looking at this piece. Okay, now we're adding in the bottom space note, which is F sharp. We know it's a sharp because it's in the key signature. So let's say the notes in rhythm while we tap our foot for the steady beat. 1, 2, ready, and G, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G. They're very close on the staff. They're called a step apart, so it's one in the very next note in the musical alphabet. So it's hard to tell, so really hone in on which one is on the line and which one is in the space. Okay, let's pick up our violin and we're going to play pizzicato to this. Remember, G is 3 fingers, F sharp is 2, is your second finger. G, F sharp, G, F sharp. They should sound like that. Here we go. We're going to play pizzicato and say the notes with me. 1, 2, ready, and G, 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 rest. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, rest. Okay? Let's now add the bow and do that same thing. Remember, if you are having trouble with any of these and you want to pause it and practice a little more on any one or several, that's totally great. G. All right, here we go. Number 55. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, let's try that one more time. Remember the difference between down bow and up bow, and we are not lifting the bow in between on the rests. We are keeping it on the string. Let's try that. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Whoa, let's try that again. All right, here we go. I also realized that my left wrist was bending like this, so I'm going to keep it nice and straight. 1, 2, ready, and. All right, let's put them both down and move on to number 56, down and up. We are adding yet another note, the bottom line note, which is E. Every good boy does fine, right? So that's an E. Now we have 3 notes that we're going to be playing. 56, let's tap our foot and say the names together. 1, 2, ready, and. G, G, F sharp. E, E, F sharp. G, G, F sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp, G. Okay. Let's pizzicato. Let's play pizzicato. Okay, here we go. So, E is one finger. E, F sharp, G. So just make sure that your fingers are in the correct positions for that. We are starting on a G. So 56 down and up. Let's try saying the letter names together as we play. 1, 2, ready, and. G, G, F sharp, E, E, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp, G. Rest. And remember, fingers 2 and 3 should pretty much be touching because F sharp and G are only a half step apart. Let's add the bow. When we are bowing, make sure that we are totally still for those rests. So we're not continuing to use the bow over top of those rests. So there is a solid beat, an entire beat of rest at the end of measures 1, 2, and 4. So make sure that you're not playing beyond the quarter note, that you are leaving space there for the rest. Number 56. G. Making sure also, don't be afraid to use most of the bow whenever you play each note. Make sure that your speed and your pressure are matching so you get a nice clean sound. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that one more time. I accidentally put my F sharp, my second finger, down too low, so the note was flat, which means it's lower than the pitch should have been. Let me just make sure. D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so I need to remember to place my second finger a little higher. Let's try 56 one more time, starting with a G. 1, 2, ready, play. Good. Also, make sure that you are changing the notes on your left hand At the exact same time, you're changing the bow direction on the right hand so that we don't get this. Or they're both happening at the exact same time, so you don't have any like little extra notes there. All right, number 57. Put everything down. This is the first one that's not starting on a G, it's starting on an E. Not adding any new notes, but the rhythm is changing for this one. Let's try to, no, we are. We're adding D, open D, sorry, in measure 1. That one is hanging, it's stuck to the bottom of the treble clef staff. There's no saying that goes with remembering a D. You just have to remember that D is the one that's stuck to the bottom of that treble clef staff. Let's say and tap. 1, 2, ready, play. E, sorry, I don't mean play, I mean say. 1, 2, ready, say. E, 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 D. E, 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 F sharp. G, 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 F sharp. E, E, E. Repeat. E, 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 D. E, 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 F sharp. G, 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 F sharp. E, E, E. If you're still working on identifying the notes of the treble clef staff quick enough to be able to recite those with me, then in the comment or in the description of this video, I will put some little mini music classes that I teach about how to identify the notes on the treble clef staff, so you can check those out and keep on practicing. It will get easier and easier as we go. I know that we are thinking about so much at the same time when we play music, which is really incredible. So that is okay if you're still working on it. All right, number 57, let's play pizzicato, starting on an E. E. Here we go. We'll tap our foot and we'll play pizzicato and say the note names. Remember, there's a repeat. 1, 2, ready, and E, 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 D, E, 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 F sharp, G, 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 F sharp, E, E, E. Rest. E, 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 D, E, 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 F sharp, G, 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 F sharp, E, E, E. I noticed that in my left hand grip that I had my thumb, I was kind of tilted back a little bit too far. I had my thumb up too high. So to adjust, I slid my left thumb further down, and that allowed me to reach the D string easier. So in case you noticed that, that's what's happening with me. Let's try it with the bow, 57. Okay, make sure your bow hold is feeling good, feeling relaxed. Ooh, hello. That was not feeling good or relaxed. Wait a second. Okay. E. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, and. All right. Something that I've been noticing in my playing is that in terms of the angle of the bow, I tend to not tilt it far enough to the right. So I'm noticing that I typically, when we're playing on the D string, I'll sometimes accidentally hit the G string. And when we're playing on the A string, sometimes I accidentally am hitting the D string. So that tells me I need to kind of consciously adjust my angle just a couple degrees to the right, because for some reason naturally I am having it too far to the left. So those kinds of things, if you're hearing something or if you're struggling with the same thing over and over again, pay attention to why whatever mistake might be happening. And when you give it like a little bit of conscious thought, you might be able to figure out the why behind it and then consciously fix it. So I know that works for me. Instead of just thinking, oh, I'm hitting 2 notes. Oh no, I'm hitting 2 notes. I'm hitting 2 notes and moving on. I started thinking about like, okay, well, which string am I hitting? Consistently, I'm hitting the string to the left, which means my angle is too far to the left, which means I need to overcompensate a little bit to the right to form muscle memory of the correct angles to use. So just take a little bit of time if there's something that keeps cropping up, or leave a comment. And if you have any questions, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. So that is our lesson for today. We'll pick up next time by using the A string, yeah, in number 58. So I can't wait to see you then. Bye.